Today I'm going to be doing a review of the very first issue of Nintendo Power. And I just got this in the mail, and I'm really excited to look at it. I've never read this issue before. This is the first time. Let's get started, shall we? First of all, I want to bring attention to the cover here. This is pretty amazing. He's blue for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on there. Right here on the very first page, I'm already speechless. We've got an ad for the power line to the pros. But I love the way they're wearing very 80s outfits here. They got the jeans, they got the weird future jackets. These guys are actually holding the first issue of Nintendo Power, the one that we're reading right now. But it looks different. It doesn't have the claymation there. It's just kind of a standard cartoony version of the issue that we're holding. It also has a red binding, which is kind of interesting because the actual magazine that we're looking at right now does not have the red binding. It has the normal binding. So yeah, maybe, just maybe, this magazine that they're holding right here is some sort of alpha version of the final magazine. So the premiere issue of Nintendo Power are the new bi-monthly magazine that's going to put more power in the hands of video game players like you than ever before. So it's bi-monthly at this point. One issue every 2 months as opposed to one issue every month like it would later be. We've got the table of contents. It's super retro table of contents here. It's amazing, actually. We've got lots of tips here. How to play, how to jump in 3 different ways. You can do the power squat jump. You can just jump on the spot. You can do a running jump. I mean, this is earth-shattering stuff for 1988. Not 20, almost 30 years ago. That's how old this is. Amazing. So, ooh, here's a page that I'll find interesting because I am the boss enthusiast. We've got a bunch of bosses here. We've got the Hydra, the Fry guy. Wart is the big boss. Seen here looking as if he's just laid an egg or something. I don't know what's happening there. Items that help Mario and his friends. I love the way Nintendo Power used to do this. They would tell you all the items, all the enemies. They would really just lay everything out in a really appealing way that you'd look at and you'd be like, this looks like fun. You know, it's just fun all around. Super Mario Bros. 2 Sports Festival. I don't even know what this is. This has nothing to do with the game. It's the characters playing sports, Olympic sports apparently. It looks like Toad only has, no, he has more than one arm. It looked like he had one arm for a second there. Toad is lifting up Mouser and throwing him for some reason. Mario is carrying a bomb. We've got maps, and more maps. This is Nintendo Power in a nutshell. It's just a map fest. And it's funny because most of these games were side-scrolling. You could only go in one direction. Man, when I was a kid and we played these NES games, it was magical because you never knew where there was going to be a secret room, where there'd be some item that no one had found yet. It felt like you really were in a new world. You know, it was so much fun to just play these games and look for cool stuff that no one had found except for you, maybe. You know, at least it felt like it. Here we have Mario apparently growing a second head. Got these awful mask guys that chase you when you grab a key. Good stuff. really 23 pages? I feel like that was not 23 pages. I feel like it's over a little too soon. Let me see. Hold on. I think I've been swindled here. 20-page spectacular. What are we on now? We're on page 24. Oh, well, it was 20 pages. That's amazing. That flew by. Wow. That's what happens when you're having fun. The pages just turn themselves. And look at this artwork. It's just, it's magical. It reminds me of Lord of the Rings. We've got Link facing a landscape here that it's just, I don't know. It's like a wasteland, but it looks like it's full of the unknown. So you're kind of looking over his shoulder at the unknown, and it just kind of, it's this world that's begging to be explored, really. And that's, I think, the magical thing about Nintendo Power. Here's level 4, and as you can see, there are a ton of hidden passages in this level. So this is where Nintendo Power really shows its usefulness from a game playing perspective, because you can refer to it if you get lost, you can refer to it if you need help. I personally enjoyed reading Nintendo Power just because of the way it built everything up. It made these games so much fun to learn about, to read about. So right here we've got a huge map of the overworld for the second quest of Zelda. This is extremely useful, I think. Very cool stuff. It's full of shortcuts. It tells you where all the swords are. It's also in perfect condition. Whoever had this issue before me really took good care of it, so that's cool. And we've got the poster. Every Nintendo Power issue had a poster in it. And this one is not one of the best posters. It's, what game is this? RBI Baseball. Bases low. That's actually for a few games, apparently. It's for a bunch of baseball games. But it's not the most interesting poster that they've done, but it's the first one. It's the first issue. This guy is swinging the bat so hard that he broke it. So I'm looking at this baseball coverage, all these baseball games, and this really looks like it says Bitcher's Mound. They should be ashamed. Man, I don't know what it is about this font, but it's really hard to read. Right here, it looks like it says Bottom of the Ninja. We've got Ghosts and Goblins. How do I beat the Red Devil? You know, good luck with this. I've never figured this out, and I've been fighting this douchebag for the past 30 years. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, right here. Defeating Mike Tyson, that's one of the big challenges of the NES era, is besting Mike Tyson in one-on-one combat. The aptly named Zanuck. Got some tips for that game. That's a game that I actually played a couple of years ago. I played it in a veterinarian's office. I had to take my cat to the vet, and I was very upset because my cat was sick and I didn't know what was going to happen to him. He's okay, but I brought my laptop with me, and I played Zanuck for the NES because I felt like playing a shooter because I was stressed out about my cat. So I'm playing this shooter, blasting aliens, and it really helped me out a lot that day. So I like Zanuck for the NES. I totally approved of that game. And we have Double Dragon, absolute classic game, Double Dragon, featuring Bimmy and Jimmy. This is some more of that early Nintendo Power artwork. We don't have professional artists yet, so we're doing the best we can, okay? Oh boy. Adobo. Who can forget Adobo? Look at this guy. He is an absolute monster. He's like something out of a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Here we got the final boss, the Shadow Master. Contra. We've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I believe this is Rocky on the right here. So we've got Arnold from Predator, and not Rocky, Rambo. Rambo from Rambo, obviously. So basically they ripped these pictures directly from the VHS art, and you can see it right here. They just changed the faces a little bit. I don't know how they didn't get sued for this. Konami should have stopped existing long ago because they should have gotten their pants sued off for this. And that's not even getting me started on Metal Gear. The original Metal Gear, the front cover had a picture of Kyle Reese on it. Michael Biehn, you know? How did they not get sued for this stuff? I mean, come on. Anyway, moving on. What a badass game this is. Alright, so we've got some NES game shows. Speaking of Metal Gear, we've got a preview here of the upcoming Metal Gear. Freedom Force. That looks like the kind of game that I'd like to play. Draw a bead on those terrorists who show up behind the doors that open. You gotta keep an eye out for them terrorists, okay? We've got some world news. Very, very cool. World news. Dragon Quest III, the RPG released in February, is the talk of Japan today. We expect total sales of 5 million. Japanese players waiting in line to buy the game around the block. Huge event in Japan every time a new Dragon Quest game comes out. Oh my god. For some reason, we've got some movie reviews in my Nintendo Power here. And we've got Pee Wee Herman, and he is hugging that incredibly beautiful woman from Hot Shots. She is unbelievably attractive. Pee Wee Herman is not. He looks like a porcelain doll that's been doing too much coke, and he's just been huffing it, and it's kind of covered his face like a kabuki mask. At the very end of the issue, I was wondering what happened to the mailbox. They'll have, a letter from one of their readers, and then they'll respond condescendingly to it and belittle their reader or whatever. But sometimes they're nice. It depends on who was answering letters that month, I think. So I was wondering where the letter form was, but here it is. It's at the end of the issue. I'm just going to pick one letter randomly to read. From Jason Newt from Beaverton, Oregon. How'd you like to be from Beaverton, Oregon? Jason Newt from Beaverton, Oregon says, Metroid has to be one of the best games ever made, at least the most challenging. Anyone who plays this game cannot say it's easy. Sooner or later you will figure out the secret passageways. There are a lot. You must go back and read the instructions to get more clues. If you don't want to get lost in this planet, you must make maps. Or you can get the power, Nintendo power, because they have the maps already drawn out for you. He doesn't say that, but anyway. Another great thing is that you do not get many free weapons, you have to earn them. It is not easy to find them all. There are a lot of secrets. If you have this game or are going to get it, you will enjoy it for a long, long time. Keep making more games like this. Very positive letter. Thank you, Jason Newt from Beaverton. And Nintendo Power responded to that with, a lot of players share your sentiments about Metroid. There are many secrets yet to be discovered, so if you find any new ones, be sure to let us know about them. And that goes back to what I was saying before. You really felt like you were constantly discovering things in these games, like there were things that no one else has found yet except you. And that was a really great feeling when you're a kid and you're playing something. So this is another letters section, but here we have people basically writing in to give their tips for different games. So that's actually a really cool idea. I wonder why they stopped doing this. You've got pro tips like Mega Man, use other men's weapons to defeat each other. Top 30, The Legend of Zelda, number 1, of course. Coming up next in the September-October issue of Nintendo Power. I do not have this issue yet. It's probably the priciest one that I don't have, but I'm working on tracking it down. And that's about it for the first issue of Nintendo Power. But I just want to show you another very 80s ad here on the last page. We've got a bunch of people like flying into their TV. It's like something out of Persona. They're all just they're flying into their TV to get the power, presumably. And on the back cover, choose your next challenge from the most powerful library in the universe. They might actually be right about that. I'm not sure if any alien races out there have perfected video games on the level that we have. I think we might actually be number 1 in that category, which is pretty cool. And that wraps up Volume 1 of Nintendo Power. Really fun issue. There's still a lot of kinks to be worked out, but, as the magazine went on, they evolved, they changed with the times, and they really developed a pretty hardcore following. And I personally grew up with this magazine. I didn't get the magazine myself until like issue 53 or so. But it's pretty awesome to finally have a chance to read the very first issue. And I'm glad that you guys could join me for it. And I'm going to be doing more videos looking at issues of Nintendo Power. And like, subscribe, and keep tuning in.